So this morning, I was just thinking amongst myself, like, God, I'm honest on my resume. I'm not going to lie and say I've worked at companies for this many years when I know I've only been there a month. I'm not going to lie if a job was seasonal, and I'm not going to say, I was there for 3 years, I'm also a part of a lot of work from home groups, and in many of them, the administrators will help you with your resume. They give tips and tools. But what I've also seen in these groups is a lot of people that will help you to pass your drug test. So they'll tell you, get fake urine, take this before you do your drug test, and just all these different things. And so I'm noticing there's a lot of deception. There's a lot of lack of integrity in these groups. And many women will vouch for other women to lie on their resume, say you've worked there this number of years, and then they're fearful. So they'll come back to the group chat or the Facebook groups, and they'll say, do you think I'll get caught? Do you think they're going to find out when they run the full background check? Do they check employment verification? And I'm just thinking to myself, if you're telling the truth, you don't got to worry about being caught in a lie, And so I know for many people, they're at the end of themselves. They're ready to give up. They're at their wits' end, so they just cut corners. They feel like that's the best thing to do. And so that's what I was talking to God about. I was like, I'm not doing what a lot of these people are doing in these groups. They'll even go as far as taking your assessment for you. They'll send you screenshots of their internet speed, and you're going to use it to send to the company you're applying for, and it's the bottom line is it's all lies, And so I don't know, I stay in these groups, but I told the Lord, once I land my next work from home role, I'm leaving these groups. I don't want to be a part of something where it's just not honest. It's not right. God is a God of integrity. He wants us to consider our ways, consider what we're doing. With everything that we do, He wants us to be meticulous. We have to be careful. And so I know that right now these women may think, oh, at least I got the job. I just told a little white lie. A lie is still a lie. It wasn't honest, and you never know. It may come back and bite you in the buns. So with that being said, y'all, I opened up, because randomly what I'll do is I'll have my Bible closed. I'll pray a prayer and I'll talk to God, and I just say, God, please lead me in your word concerning this or concerning that. And more than, 9 times out of 10, as soon as I open up the word, He'll lead me. Okay. And so I was led to 1 Chronicles 29, verses 16 through 30. And what stood out the most to me was this, verse 17, and it says, I know, my God, that you examine our hearts and rejoice when you find integrity there. You know I have done all this with good motives, and I have watched your people offer their gifts willingly and joyously. So I was talking to God this morning, pouring out my heart, pouring out my thoughts, open up the Bible, and that's where I open up to. And that's what stood out to me the most. It's like God was really drawing my focus to verse 17, 18. He examines our hearts and He rejoices when He finds integrity there. So I don't have to cut corners. I don't have to lie to get a job. I don't have to over-exaggerate my skills. I don't have to do any of that. I can be 100% honest, and God is going to open a door. He's pleased when I'm being honest about the times I've worked at these jobs and I'm not over-exaggerating or applying for jobs I know I don't qualify for, but I'm tweaking my resume to make it seem like I have experience in that area. And I think to myself, when you're getting ready to do your interview, they're going to be asking you questions pertaining to that role. And if you do not have experience, you're going to be choked up. You're going to be like, I don't know what to say. And it's because you lied. And they're going to know immediately you're not qualified for the job. So honesty is always the best policy. And he goes on to say, you know I have done all this with good motives. Good motives, good intentions, right? There's no, oh, well, if I do this, this is going to get me this. Or I know I'm lying, but I'm going to get the job. God wants us to walk in integrity. He wants us to walk in righteousness and holiness. Be ye holy, for I am holy. You don't have to cut corners. You don't got to lie. You don't got to go and get somebody to do an assessment for you. Put in the work. Put in the effort. God will meet you where you are. Pray before you do the assessment. Pray before you fill out the job application. Even if you know you're not qualified, God can still open that door. And there's testimonies of that. Many people that have gotten jobs, God has done miraculous signs and wonders for them, and they didn't lie to get into those doors. Okay? So I pray that this video reaches who it's meant to reach. You don't have to lie. Be honest. Keep applying. And know that God is going to open that door for you. Walk in integrity. Walk in righteousness. Be ye holy, for he is holy. And I'll see you on the next video.